Imagine a morning that never arrives. The alarm clock rings. The world prepares for sunrise. But outside the window, the sky remains locked in eternal midnight. No streak of gold, no warmth on the horizon, just blackness stretching forever. The unthinkable has happened. The sun has vanished for 8 fleeting minutes. Life continues as though nothing is wrong. Children laugh on their way to school. Workers sip coffee on the train. And traffic hums beneath a sky still glowing with light already on its way from the sun. But when those final photons reach Earth, the illusion shatters. Darkness descends, not the comforting kind of night, but a silence so deep, so absolute, that the world itself seems to stop breathing. Confusion ripples through cities. Streetlights flicker to life at the wrong hour. Birds grow restless, unsure whether to sleep or fly. Within hours, the air begins to chill, a cold bite seeping into the skin of the planet. Fear spreads quickly, not just because of the dark, but because of what it means. It would be the most shocking event in human history, says astrophysicist Dr. Lena Ortega. We are hardwired to depend on the sun. Without it, the psychological shock would be as devastating as the physical one. This is not science fiction. It is a thought experiment designed to reveal how fragile our existence truly is. By imagining a world without the sun, we uncover the intricate systems that make life possible, the journey of light across space, the invisible grip of gravity, and the fragile chain of energy that sustains every living thing. The story of Earth is, and always has been, the story of its star. The sun is not just another star in the sky. For Earth, it is the beating heart of the solar system, the central fire around which everything revolves. Without it, our planet would be nothing more than a frozen rock adrift in endless space. Every drop of water that flows, every gust of wind that sweeps across the land, every heartbeat and breath, each is a thread woven by the sun's energy. Its light and heat shape the rhythm of life. Sunlight warms oceans, drives winds, and fuels storms. It powers photosynthesis, the process by which plants transform light into the food that sustains nearly every living creature on Earth. A scientist once described it this way: the sun is not just above us, it is inside us. In every calorie we eat, in every breath we take. Without its steady radiance, Earth's climate would unravel into chaos. But the sun's role goes far beyond light and warmth. Its invisible grip gravity holds the solar system together. Planets, moons, comets, and asteroids all dance in their orbits because the sun commands them. Remove the sun, and that delicate choreography collapses instantly. Earth would no longer circle a star. It would drift into the void, unanchored and alone. Life has always been tied to solar energy. Plants capture sunlight, animals feed on plants, and humans draw strength from both. Our very biology is synchronized with day and night. With the rising and setting of the sun, break that cycle, and the foundation of life itself is shaken. For ancient civilizations, this dependence was obvious. They looked to the sky and worshipped the sun as a god, seeing it as the source of power, harvest, and survival. Crops grew only when the sun returned after winter. Calendars were built around its path, And great monuments from Stonehenge in Britain to the pyramids of Egypt were aligned with its rising and setting. For sailors navigating uncharted seas, the sun was the compass that guided them as centuries passed. Scientific pioneers turned reverence into research. Galileo sketched sunspots through his telescope, revealing the sun as a dynamic, living body. Later, physicists uncovered its secret engine, nuclear fusion, the process that fuses hydrogen into helium, releasing unimaginable energy. We are all children of fusion, astrophysicist Dr. Marcus Lee explains. Every second, the sun gives off more energy than humanity has consumed in its entire history. Without it, life would never have begun. From myth to science, from survival to discovery, the story of humanity has always been written in sunlight. And by understanding this story, we begin to see just how catastrophic its sudden disappearance would be. The disappearance of the sun would not be noticed instantly. For 8 minutes and 20 seconds, Earth would continue to glow under its familiar rays. It is a delay written in physics the time it takes for light to travel the 93 million miles between us and the star that sustains us. Those final beams would be our last inheritance from the sun, a farewell gift disguised as daylight. And then, without warning, the sky would collapse into an endless void. No twilight, no gradual dimming, only instant, suffocating darkness. But light isn't the only thing tethered to the sun. Gravity is too. The sun's immense pull is what keeps Earth locked in orbit, circling year after year in a delicate dance. Remove that pull, and Earth breaks free. The planet would no longer move in a curve around its star, it would shoot off in a straight line, like a stone flung from a sling, forever drifting into the frozen gulf of interstellar space. The solar system is like a symphony, explains astrophysicist Dr. Marcus Lee. Without the conductor, the music falls apart almost immediately. Earth's atmosphere would begin to unravel. Winds would die, weather systems would collapse, and the once living sky would fall silent. Without solar heating, the temperature would plunge rapidly within a week. The average surface temperature could drop below -17 degrees Celsius. Within a year, it would sink to nearly -73. Oceans would begin to freeze from the surface down. Entombing marine life beneath layers of ice. Plants would wither first. Without photosynthesis, green turns to gray. Forests, grasslands, and crops would collapse within days, setting off a chain reaction. Animals dependent on plants would starve, and predators would soon follow. Humanity, perched at the top of this fragile pyramid, would find itself on borrowed time. We take for granted that food appears in supermarkets, says biologist Dr. Naomi Chen. But remove the sun, and the entire chain of supply crumbles. Faced with this abyss, humans might fight to survive. Underground shelters heated by nuclear power or geothermal energy could provide temporary refuge. Artificial lamps might keep hydroponic farms alive for a while, but survival would be brutally unequal, limited to those with access to technology and resources. Billions would be left to face the cold in darkness. The oceans, once the cradle of life, would freeze over. A skin of ice would spread across the surface, thickening as the months passed. Yet, in the hidden depths, some heat would linger. Geothermal vents might continue to spew warmth into the abyss, creating isolated sanctuaries where microbial life could cling to existence. In this way, the Earth would begin to resemble the icy moons of Jupiter or Saturn, where oceans may lie hidden beneath frozen crusts. The atmosphere itself would undergo a chilling transformation. Without solar heat, gases would begin to condense. Nitrogen and oxygen could freeze, falling like snow onto the deadened ground. The very air would turn solid, erasing the last breath of life from the surface. In studying such a nightmare, scientists often turn to analogues in the cosmos rogue planets, worlds cast adrift without stars. These wanderers exist in darkness, frozen and barren, yet some may harbor warmth deep within, powered by radioactive decay or tidal forces. They show us that even in the harshest environments, the rules of physics allow for survival in unexpected forms, explains Dr. Ortega. Computer models help visualize the descent into this frozen future. Scientists run simulations that show temperatures plummeting, ecosystems collapsing, and Earth spiraling into eternal night. They do not conduct these experiments out of morbid curiosity, but to sharpen our understanding of the sun's role in sustaining life. The thought experiment is both terrifying and illuminating. Remove the star, and the fragility of our existence is revealed in stark detail. This is not just a vision of what could happen, but a reminder of what already does. Across the universe, billions of planets orbit stars, while countless others drift alone in the dark. Earth, blessed with its sun, is an exception, a rare oasis. And imagining the absence of our star helps us recognize the miracle of its presence. Humans live in a world defined by the sun. Every watt of energy we use, every calorie we consume, every breath we take, traces back to that distant star. From the photosynthesis that feeds crops to the solar radiation that drives our climate, we are entirely dependent on a light we rarely pause to appreciate. It's easy to forget that civilization itself is solar-powered, notes Dr. Naomi Chen, ecologist and energy researcher. Without the sun, every system we rely on would collapse. The thought experiment of a sunless Earth also reveals lessons for climate science. Our planet's delicate balance is maintained by the interplay of sunlight, atmosphere, and oceans. Even slight variations in solar output influence temperatures, weather patterns, and ecological stability. By imagining a total absence of the sun, scientists sharpen their understanding of these relationships, revealing just how finely tuned Earth's systems are. It's a stark reminder of the fragility of the environment and the importance of stewardship. This awareness also accelerates the push for renewable energy. If our survival depends so fundamentally on the sun, then harnessing its energy directly through solar panels, wind turbines, and geothermal systems becomes not just sustainable, but essential. The sun gives us the blueprint for resilience, says Dr. Marcus Lee. We need to translate that energy into solutions that can withstand the unexpected, preparing for hypothetical scenarios, even extreme ones, forces innovation and resourcefulness. Philosophically, the idea of a sunless world is humbling. Life, in all its diversity, exists because of conditions so precisely balanced that one small disruption could erase entire ecosystems. Considering the sun's disappearance provokes reflection on humanity's vulnerability and the temporary nature of our dominance. It forces a kind of cosmic humility, reminding us that the Earth is a fragile oasis in a vast, indifferent universe. Studying these hypotheticals also strengthens disaster preparedness. Scientists and policymakers examine extreme scenarios not to incite fear, but to plan for resilience. Underground shelters, advanced energy grids, and emergency food systems all gain new significance under the lens of sunless Earth simulations. In this way, imagination becomes a tool for survival beyond our planet. This perspective informs the search for life on exoplanets, worlds without stars wandering in darkness or orbiting faint. Distant suns exist in our galaxy. Understanding how life could survive in extreme environments expands our appreciation for Earth's singular conditions and prepares us for potential discoveries elsewhere. Even in darkness, physics allows for pockets of possibility, says Dr. Ortega. It reminds us that resilience is universal, not just human, in the end. The story of a world without the sun underscores both vulnerability and hope. While our dependence is absolute, human ingenuity has repeatedly found ways to adapt, survive, and thrive in extreme circumstances. By contemplating the unimaginable, we gain insight into our energy systems, our planet, and our capacity for resilience. It is both a warning and an inspirational call to respect the star that sustains us. While preparing for whatever the universe may throw in our path, the disappearance of the sun, even as a thought experiment, reveals a chain reaction of collapse that would ripple through every corner of our planet. Darkness, cold, and the unraveling of life's delicate systems illustrate just how dependent Earth is on a single star. By revisiting this scenario, we gain perspective on the fragility of the ecosystems, climates, and human societies that thrive only because of sunlight and gravity's steady pull. The sun is far more than a distant ball of fire. It is life's anchor. Its energy fuels growth. Its gravity holds the planets in their orbits, and its cycles govern the rhythms of the natural world. Without it, the planet itself would drift into chaos. Recognizing this dependence reminds us that life is not guaranteed. It is nurtured by forces both visible and invisible. Looking forward, advances in solar science and space exploration offer hope. Understanding how the sun produces energy, predicting its cycles, and studying distant stars all deepen our knowledge of the conditions that make life possible. Simultaneously, technology allows us to prepare for the unexpected. Solar energy capture, resilient infrastructure, and research into extreme survival scenarios demonstrate humanity's capacity to innovate. When confronted with cosmic challenges, ultimately, the story of Earth is inseparable from the story of its star. We are observers of a cosmic balance, fragile yet extraordinary. In contemplating a world without the sun, we are reminded to value the light, energy, and warmth that sustain life, while using our curiosity and ingenuity to safeguard the planet. Even in a universe of vast uncertainty, Earth's relationship with its sun is a beacon of order, possibility, and hope. Our future depends on it, and so does our story.